A sudden car accident sent a woman up to heaven, but the heavenly judge told her she was supposed to live to be 80. Confused by this, she didn't have time to process it before she was sent back to the living world. Originally wearing only silk pajamas, she came back to life in cheap clothes. Looking at her disheveled appearance in the mirror, which contrasted sharply with her former elegant image, she was on the verge of collapse from the huge disparity in her status. Selena's scream brought a man running into the room. She had been a high society single aristocrat. Why was there a man in her house? Thinking she was facing a robber, she panicked and tried to call the police. The man looked at her with contempt, assuming she had been watching too many TV dramas and was playing some kind of role-playing game. Little did he know that the woman before him was no longer his original wife. It turned out that the heavenly office had hired a temporary worker who, being careless on the job, had mistakenly brought up Selena, who was supposed to live to 80, to heaven. Paul's wife Linda was supposed to die a month later, but the temporary worker had sent her off to reincarnation instead. With no other choice, the heavenly judge tricked Selena into living as Linda for 1 month before she could regain her original identity and live to 80. But they didn't tell her that Linda was not only married but also a mother of 2. How could Selena handle such a shock? Thinking back to her former self, she had been a wealthy woman. As a nationally renowned lawyer, she lived in a luxury home and drove a luxury car, a winner in life. Now she had to do handicrafts with a group of middle-aged women to earn money, folding 10,000 shopping bags for just 201. What made Selena even more devastated was learning from friends that she had gotten pregnant before marriage at 20 and was forced to marry Paul. Now in her 30s, she had no job, and the whole family depended on Paul's income. Hearing this made the proud Selena nauseous. She covered her mouth and ran out. Her friends mistakenly thought she was pregnant again. When she got home that evening, Paul was already lying in bed. Seeing Selena come in, he asked if the children were asleep. Selena grunted in reply. Hearing that, Paul immediately started taking off his pants. This terrified Selena, who demanded to know what he was doing. Paul said that since the kids were asleep, it was time to do what married couples do. Without waiting for Selena to react, he pulled her toward the bed. Selena yelled at Paul for trying to take her body. This angered Paul. Wasn't intimacy between a married couple normal? He said she was already the mother of 2 children, so why was she acting like a young girl? Hearing this, Selena became furious. She blamed everything on Paul, saying he had seduced a 20-year-old girl into getting pregnant and then forced her to marry him and become a maid, living in this rundown house. Did he think that was fair to his handsome face? Before Paul could respond, Selena grabbed a blanket and went to sleep on the sofa. Paul couldn't figure out what was wrong with his wife today.